let me ask you this. Is the truth relative? Is the truth just an abstract, or is it something that is very solid? We talk, for example, about the law of gravity. I think it's fairly well settled science. That's the truth. But could we come along and say, well, I don't know, maybe that's just your opinion. Maybe that's just your way of thinking. Maybe it's just an abstract. Maybe the law of gravity exists when it serves my purpose, but when it doesn't serve my purpose, then it doesn't exist. By the way, if you believe that, I'm surprised you're even alive, because the law of gravity I find is a persistent. Well, it's a benefit, but it's also a particular problem because I keep dropping things. So we have the law of gravity. It's there. It's verifiable. It's falsifiable. We know that it is a truth. But to a narcissist, even something as obvious as the law of gravity, given the right situation, they would probably argue against it. Okay, maybe that is a bit extreme, but that gives you some idea of how narcissists think. As we say again, it's not just that they lie, it's that their lives are a lie because they don't acknowledge truth. Truth is ambiguous, it is abstract, it is relative. It just isn't there. So they just decide what truth is to suit themselves. Number two, according to the narcissist, truth is not only not absolute, but it's also changeable. It's malleable. We talked the other day in one of our videos about taking a lump of clay, and turning it into whatever you turn clay into, turn it into a pot, vessel, whatever. That's what truth is to a narcissist. It's something that can be played with. You can change it, you can mold it, you can make it, and you want to make it to serve your purpose. So let's say that you're a potter and you need a vase to put flowers in. So you get busy and you make a vase to put flowers in. So you mold the clay to fit your need, and you need another bowl to eat out of. So you make a bowl to eat out of. So, you take the clay and you make it fit whatever your needs are. That's what a narcissist does with truth, with reality. They don't recognize it. It just has to suit whatever fits their ego. Number three is this. They hate the truth. They lie so much because, well, it seems that lying is kind of like, a sedative. It dismisses pain and particularly shame. The reason we say that is because if you know a narcissist, stop and think about a narcissist in your life who seems to be truth challenged. What you will find about this person is his or her narcissism is almost certainly, maybe not, there are exceptions, but almost certainly covering up some kind of a shame because they feel inferior deep down inside. They know they don't they don't stand up to others as far as maybe integrity or maybe as far as talent or intelligence, and they want to cover up that. So they appeal to lies. They abandon truth and they make up stuff. Typically what they do is they will alter truth by putting you down. Narcissists love to do that. They love to build their egos. We call that supply when they use you, or when they do that at your expense. That's called supply. That is a lie. It is because they have this shame, they have this embarrassment, they have this pain of acknowledging that they're not as good as you, that you are better than them. So what to do? Well, they put you down. Now they are better than you. Lying is a sedative, makes them feel better. Number four, this is sort of what we mentioned before, but they distort reality. So they hate truth because it just doesn't fit. They have a particular need, they have a particular narrative, they have a life story, they have this vision of who they want to be, and they have to rearrange truth to affirm that which is not true. But they don't believe in truth, so they can just make it whatever they want to be. They can explain away just about anything. So, say for example that you have a narcissist in your life who has stolen from you. Well, he can explain that. We've talked about this in other videos. You can catch these people red-handed. You can catch them on video. And they will alternate the truth, or alter the truth, I should say, to fit to excuse themselves, I should say. So they will say, for example, I didn't steal it, I was borrowing it. I didn't look at it. I was going to bring it back. I didn't mean to keep it. The fact that I kept it for 3 years or whatever, well, I just forgot to bring it back, but I didn't steal it. I mean, whatever truth is, they've got a cover-up, they've got an alternative story. They always have an explanation. They can explain away just about anything. Now, sometimes their explanation is just downright silly. But it doesn't matter how absurd it is, narcissists tend to be pretty good at being convincing. So they can convince other people that the lie is the truth and that the truth is the lie. And if you've ever endured a smear campaign, chances are you have. You wouldn't be watching this video. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Number 5 is it justifies themselves and their actions. I hear a lot of people referring to this as blame shifting. We kind of referred to this just a second ago. But the narcissist takes his lack of attributes and he imputes them or imposes them on you. You are the one that lacks character. You are the one who is dishonest. You are the one with a problem. And being a hero, he stood against your whatever, your evilness or your crookedness or whatever. And so he is the hero. He is the honest one. He is the hero. The fact of the matter is, he or she probably is a thief. They're probably slanderers. Because that's what narcissists do. So what they are doing is they are justifying themselves. They're justifying their nefarious actions, their thievery or whatever they did. Grifters, they have all kinds of tricks and things that they do. But what they are doing is they are leveraging your behavior to excuse their behavior. So maybe you believe something that a lot of people don't believe. Maybe you have a religious view or a political view that is not popular. The narcissist will bring that up, even though it has nothing to do with anything, to turn other people against you. That is how they take the truth and they change it. So these people are now opposed to you because you believe something, which has nothing to do with the topic at hand, but they convinced others that you're a bad guy. And since you're a bad guy, they probably now going to believe the narcissist when he lies. That's why narcissists lie, to justify themselves, to justify their actions, to make themselves look like the good guy and their victims the bad guy. Number 6 is this. It allows them to play the victim. Narcissists never present themselves, covert narcissists never present themselves as being abusive. Doesn't matter how abusive they are. They could punch you in the nose and, this is a little bit extreme, but they'll say, man, that guy hit my fist with his nose. Okay, they may not literally say it that way, but they will have an explanation that if you had not said this, or if you had not done this, or if you had not intimidated them or bullied them, they would not have done that. Truth of the matter is they punched you in the nose because they're jerks, because they're narcissists, because they're controllers. But they will never, I've never known a narcissist who would ever own his own actions, own up to his own flaws, his own faults. So it allows them, lying allows them to play the victim. Now what you have to understand is the truth is singular. There's only one truth. There can only be one truth. The challenge is to know what that is. But what about a lie? Well, there's an infinite number of lies. So what we understand is that we need to side with the truth because, well, we can't go wrong unless somebody else doesn't understand what the truth is. But still, the thing to do is side with the truth. We're going to get to that in just a moment, but it allows the narcissist to play the victim. Number 7, narcissists love to lie because, well, they want you to doubt reality. What is true? What is real? Well, nobody knows absolutely positively sure about everything because we can be a little bit deceived. And sometimes we even deceive ourselves. We don't know exactly, and there's no human being that knows everything about everything. So we can't know everything all the time. So consequently, someone else can come along and tell us that this is true. And how would we know? We have to accept it or we have to investigate for ourselves, and our investigation could even come up short-handed, so we tend to accept what other people say. Narcissists understand that. That's the whole That's the whole foundation that makes the smear campaign work, is people are gullible. They believe nonsense. But the narcissist is able to frame his lies in such a way, or her lies in such a way, that other people find them credible. And so they believe them. And so, as we said earlier, the truth is changeable. The truth is malleable in the mind of the narcissist and in the minds of those who are listening. So they have this false perception of what truth is. That causes others to either believe something that isn't true, or at least to doubt reality. So, there's a court case, and this guy's been charged with murder. And what is his attorney going to do? His attorney is going to go before the jury and cause reasonable doubt that maybe there was some other explanation of how this person died, or maybe somebody else did it. That is what narcissism is all about when it comes to dealing with truth, is creating reasonable doubt and then creating doubt, not only in your mind, but in the minds of others. By the way, there's a term for that. It's just called gaslighting. When it is used for a detrimental purpose to take advantage of use one way or the other, creating doubt or reasonable doubt in your mind about something that there should be no doubt about, that's gaslighting. Number 8 is, how should we respond to all of this? And I've said this many times before in many different videos, but the way to deal with this is to stick to the truth. Find out what is real and stick to that. Now, if you find out that what you believe is real isn't, then you need to change. But find out what real is, find out what the truth is, and stick to the truth. Because as we said earlier, truth is singular, but lies are infinite. And it's easy to catch somebody in a lie because they'll tell one story one day and another story the next day, which, by the way, is okay if you're trying to stick to the truth and you find out you were wrong and now you got to change. But that's not what happens with liars. They know they're wrong. They just find that their lie is not correlating with the truth, so they have to come up with a second lie that sounds more believable. But if you stick with the truth, you don't have to worry about that. Reality is what it is. Now, that doesn't mean that innocent people don't go to jail even though they speak the truth, because, people are deceptive. But that still remains the best, in my thinking, the way that I understand it. That is the best route to take. So, when you're dealing with a narcissist, and I've said this a lot of times in other videos, is you need to keep records. You got to keep track of emails, of text messages. You need to save all this stuff. Court documents, public records, you need to check into those when you're dealing with a narcissist. Do what is legal when it comes to recording conversations with other narcissists. Sometimes it's legal, sometimes it's not. You need to know the difference. Depends on your jurisdiction, depends on your state, where do you live. But all of these things is not just that we stick with the truth, but that this is important, pay attention, that we verify, document the truth. So when the narcissist comes along with his lies, now he is confronted with the truth, and guess what? It's kind of like shining a flashlight, in the darkness. Suddenly you thought there was something in the darkness, and there wasn't. When I was a little kid, I was certain there was a monster in my closet, And they also lived in my bed, under my bed, and they lived on the wall. But, I'd yell in the middle of the night, and my dad would come in, "What's your problem?" I said, "Well, there's a monster in the closet." So my dad would open the door, turn on the light, and guess what? There's no monster. So what narcissists will do is he'll create these monsters in the minds of others and in you during the smear campaign, during the gaslighting. But when you have documentation, when you have the truth, when you have the emails, the public records, you got the text messages saved, that's like turning on the light in the closet. Suddenly, it's not that the monster is scared away, the monster never was there in the first place. Well, yeah, there is a monster. That's a narcissist and his lies. So now the monster is exposed and everybody sees it. Importantly, you see it as well. And you just freed yourself from the narcissist. You see those 2 rectangles on the screen? If you click one of those, we'll keep on talking. If not, thanks for stopping by, and see y'all next time.